Hello, listeners. This is Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose. I'm here with my co-host, and we are celebrating Mother's Day today, and we have a very special guest for you all the way from New York. Her name is Carrie Cannon. She is an author, a speaker, a stress relief expert, self-love mentor. Let me share with you a little bit why we think this program is so special today. Across the world, many are celebrating Mother's Day, and we know mothers are very dear to us. We thought that Carrie would bring a mother's perspective to us today and share with us some of the joys as well as some of the challenges of mothers, particularly single mothers. And we also want Kenan to chime in on some of the discussion as my co-host, Kenan Wesley Mason, where we want to always bring you news and information about being consciously aware about life, healthy living, which includes wellness and many of the other life management situations that we face on a day-to-day basis. And what better day to bring you this awesome speaker, Carrie Cannon. A little bit about me. We started this show to just bring awareness to everyone across the world. And I'm an author as well as a speaker. My latest book, A Hill to Climb, has been motivating many. And my being a single mother was some of the reason that inspired this book as well. And I have something special to share with you at the end of the program. Kenan, let Kenan give you a little bit of information about himself. He's my son, so this is a mother-son show where we feel we have something very unique to bring you.
Well, first I want to say happy Mother's Day to you, being my mother for a number of years now. And happy Mother's Day to all mothers and mothers-to-be around the world. We want to bring another dynamic to what it means to be a mother, and because mothers, they have the gift of giving new life to do work here on earth, and it's time to now have a discussion on the opportunities that can come about in some of the challenges that may come along with motherhood, and how you can succeed through some adversities that will come along with motherhood, because motherhood is not a perfect joyride, but you can make it the best that you can be, because the mother is the first teacher of the child.
Absolutely, and thank you, Kenan, for those thoughts. Now let's bring our guest speaker, who says the greatest thing you can ever do for another is to be completely true to yourself. Our dynamic speaker is none other than Carrie Cannon, and her book, Uncovering the Divine Within. We'd like to share Carrie Cannon with you. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Louise. Hi, Kenan. Thank you so much for having me on your program. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you, Carrie. Now, Carrie, we know that you have written this book, Uncovering the Divine Within, and that was an inspiration to everyone that has read it. And for those who haven't, please go out and get it, because it's such a motivational, inspiring book. And as Kenan has said, there are many challenges that go along with motherhood, and we know we are celebrating mothers across the world today. However, there can be some challenges and joys and so forth. So, Carrie, tell us, you have two beautiful, lovely daughters. So tell us a little bit about yourself as a mother and the challenges you face as a mother, especially with being a divorced mother like myself, a single mother.
Well, I think, well, first of all, my approach as a mother is to try and encourage my girls to be the people that they want to be. I don't impose things on them like restrictions, like, I don't tell them what they should think as far as, religion and so forth. I try and encourage them to be completely true to themselves, as in my sort of byline that you just read there. And I encourage them to kind of think for themselves. And I think sometimes in that alone, there are challenges, because along the way there are people that tell them, you should be this or you should be that, or will sort of paint me in a light that might not be what they perceive that I should be. So, my kids kind of pick up on that. So I feel like it's kind of challenging for them too, to kind of understand, okay, where is this balance? And I try and allow them to make those decisions on their own while guiding them. Although sometimes, that in itself is, a challenge, because when there are all these different, factions that are trying to, or that are molding kids as they grow up, for them to sort of find their way, I think it is a challenge in itself. So for me to watch that process, sometimes that's, very encouraging. Like, my kids will say things to me that I'm like, where did you hear that from? Like really amazing, astounding, wisdom-packed stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be like, well, you told me that, Mom. And I'll be like, wow, I did? That came from me? And then, they'll say other things that are just very challenging for me to deal with, because it so is not, the person who I have, sort of try to raise them to be. But, while they're trying to create that balance, it's hard for them to sort of take everything that they're learning and sort of organize it and understand it, I think. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like some of the things that they'll say to me, or that they'll, sometimes accuse me, because they're teenagers, is like, well, I never said that. Why do you think that I feel that way or say that way towards you? So that can be a challenging, aspect of our relationship as well.
Oh, yes, and now, how old are your daughters, Carrie?
They are 13 and almost 15.
Okay, that's a great age. You're dealing with teenagers, and I can certainly identify with that, because my kids are adults now. My oldest son, sitting here with me, is about to embark upon that special dynamic age that a lot of women tend to fear, which is 40. And I don't know why, but I'm the mother of 3 adult children, and having raised 3 adult children, particularly being a single parent, we do have our challenges, and it is important to bring about that balance in life and to help our children to understand that we do need balance in life. Now, I know you are embarking upon some very special ventures where you're sharing your story and using your life journey to assist others. What are you doing now to make those things happen and to help others, to motivate them to realize, particularly women, that just because you go through these challenges, it doesn't mean you have to go into despair?
Yeah. Well, right now I actually have several different things going on. I have what's called the World Awakened Project that I've been working on for a while, which is very spiritually oriented. I'm also helping a lot of business owners kind of get their feet under them my background is in design, so I'm doing a lot of web design work. But also I am in the middle of a book project with Michelle Mayor, and I think it's called Embracing the Divine, and I might have the title wrong. We're all it's a collaborative project, and it's not out there yet. But I think it's Embracing the Divine Within, or something like that, which is ironic because the title of my book is Uncovering the Divine Within, and we kind of came up with these things separately and independently. But that's a really great project of helping women to reclaim their power and their divine power specifically. And that's very exciting. Where in that book, I'm talking about what you just touched upon, which is the whole sort of divorce process that I just went through or am going through. It's kind of been an ongoing battle, and it's shown me so many ways that I've given my power away and have needed to reclaim my power. And I'm just coming around to understanding the gift that it has been, which it's been a struggle dealing with my ex-husband and all of the court issues that we've gone through. But I feel like I'm finally coming out on the other side of that, and I'm,
That's a great
actually healing from it.
Carrie.
When I got married, I probably about 6 or 9 months later, I got pregnant, and when that happened, my now ex-husband encouraged me to figure out what I really wanted to do, which was a tremendous gift in itself. And so I realized that I needed to learn myself and teach other people how to love themselves, and that whole process is outlined in my Uncovering the Divine Within book. But then what I did, when he encouraged me to do that, I realized what I wanted to do, and we also decided that I would stay home with the kids until they were, until they started school, were in school full time. And in doing that, I was very happy to give all of that financial power away to my now ex-husband. I was very happy to give it to him and to let him take care of everything. And then once we got divorced, I felt like he used that against me. And whether it's true or not, that's the way it feels. So that's what's true for me. And I felt like he did absolutely every single thing he possibly could to use my love for my kids and my dependence upon him financially to try and destroy me both emotionally and financially. Now, again, whether that's true or not, is really relative. So for the last 4 years since our custody battles have started, because after we got divorced, we mediated our agreement and everything was amicable until he got remarried. And then, then the fighting started. So during that time, I'm actually in the midst of a third custody battle right now. So I had one where he was suing me for full custody, then another one in 2011 where he was suing me for full custody, and now he's suing me for full custody again. And in that, of course, you need to pay attorneys and you need to do all of this stuff. So I have felt like he has used his financial prowess to try and destroy me. So the first 2 times I went in, I was really scared. I was wishing for psychological evaluations, which I could not afford. And for whatever reason, this time going into it, I, have been, over the last few years, I've been really reclaiming my power in ways that I never imagined I would have to. And he has forced me to do that. He has forced me through the relentless sort of, going back and forth of, doing this with myself and my kids, of
and that
making me
is
do
one
this.
of the things that many women face as mothers and it's such a sad situation that I know and I understand what you're saying because I had a similar situation as well. But we know as mothers, and I'm going to share something very special, I think we're like angels. We have to wear so many hats to help us through the challenges. However, we know that we still have to be the best that we can be. And our children often help us to bring out the best in us, even through these challenges, because we're looking at these children and we're saying, this is the reason I've made it this far. Many of us, but some of us, in your situation, I believe, will be a catalyst to help other women to understand that just because you are going through these types of challenges, that you don't have to go into despair, because that's what many women do. And these are mothers, and we know that our children need us the most at that time. So you are helping so many women to understand, because of, look at what all the positive things you have done in the midst of adversity. You have done many positive things to influence your children in such a positive way, and how you're helping others, and you have embarked upon that. And that is such a tremendous step forward, a move forward to make other women feel how they can move forward.
But I do believe that despair is part of the process. I think that it's sort of living in denial to say, you know what, you can't go through that, because I wouldn't be where I am now had I not hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And what the whole thing has done for me. And I just want to, for the listeners to hear this before we run out of time or anything. My ex-husband, I am now starting to see as one of my greatest gifts. And I, 2 years ago when I was going through the custody battle, I couldn't say that. But he has forced me to claim my power in ways that I never imagined I would have to. And it was because I gave it away. I completely, Louise, I gave it all away. When he said, go ahead and quit your job, I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I never have to worry about that again. And that in that move, I completely gave all my power away. So over the last 4 years, I have really, especially in the last 2 years, since the last time that we went to court, I've really, really claimed my power. And now, money is coming in, people are entering my life. I can see that things are going in a positive direction. I've been meditating more. I've been helping more people. Just things are moving in ways that they hadn't previously. You had previously said, that your kids are the ones that push you. And I must, acknowledge that without my children, and feeling like I need to be the best person I can be for them, the best example, whether they, they're teenagers, so whether they hate me or they love me, in showing them that regardless of the adversity that is sort of thrust upon you or me, you can always rise above that, and you can always use it as the foundation for your strength. Because right now, I've kind of been there, done that. I know what it's like now to be in financial ruin, and I know what it's like to climb out of that and to feel, like I'm thriving and to see things moving in a positive direction. And had it not been for my kids, I never would have, I don't know if I would have ever had the courage to do it. Although at the same time, I would not have, been restricted. So, like I could have moved to a different place. I would not have had that constant influence in my life of trying to sort of, beat me down. So I guess, having them has given me the support, like you say, to move forward in ways that I would not have imagined I could. And it's because of the love that I have for my children that, I'm taking what's being given and I'm using it as my strength.
And that's so great to say that, because what you have brought out and imparted to so many mothers across the world is that even though we can have challenging people in our lives, they can really be a blessing to us in so many ways, particularly when we use those lessons to move our lives forward and to be a positive reinforcement to others, to help them to understand just because you have challenges in your life doesn't mean you have to go into despair. We both know that, and it doesn't mean that you have to, it means that you can, from what I'm hearing from you and from how I have moved my life forward, you can just move yourself to have such an awakening, a positive awakening in life, and this can show your children to help them to move forward and let them see how these challenges have moved you and see that influence. And I want to have Ken, my son, to share a little bit more about the conversation and how the impact of me raising him as a single mother has been a blessing to him. Just briefly.
Well, Carrie, I want Carrie to listen, and all the mothers listening. You have 2 daughters, and they're teenagers as well. So they're literally, whether we think they are or not, they're looking at you as the example, because one day they're going to possibly be married as well and have children and become mothers themselves. So what better way to show them what it means to not only be a mother, but what it means to be a woman as well, and to know that you have a gift within that you can only give your power away if you allow your power to be given away. And so your dynamic is a great example of how up-and-coming teenage girls can see that no matter what you go through, there is a light at the end of that tunnel if you direct yourself towards it.
And that's exactly what you have done, Carrie. I see all the positive things you're doing now and how you have taken back your power. And that's what so many mothers do. Sometimes we often give away our power, and we have to realize that that's something that God has given you. God has empowered all of us to have the strength and power, and God tells us that. He's given us the power to move forward with our lives, and that goes for everyone, mothers, fathers, boys, girls, everyone. We have that power within. However, as mothers, what we want to do is empower our children as well, and we can only empower them by leading by this positive example, and I am so excited. So let's get some final words from you, Carrie, and then I have this special gift I'd like to share with the mothers across the world before we wrap this up. Just some final brief thoughts.
Okay, well, I guess what I'd like to say is no matter how bad it becomes, you have within you, the strength and the power to overcome any adversity. Mine was really, really rough there for a really long time. And to get a little bit more about this story, the book, the compilation book that's coming out, I just looked it up, with Michelle Mayor and a bunch of other authors, is called Embraced by the Divine. And that should be out probably this summer. And this is 2014 that we're talking. So anyway, thank you very much, Louise. Oh, or you can get in touch with me through myworldawakened.com, my World Awakened project. So thank you very much, Louise and Kenan. It's really been a great pleasure to be here.
And thank you for coming on the show and just embarking some powerful information to help empower mothers across the world. We really appreciate it. Carrie Cannon, author, speaker, and mother out of New York, and we are coming to you on the Feel Good Network, MJWJ, out of Houston, Texas, and we are here in sunny Southern California on this beautiful Mother's Day. So let me share a special poem with you quickly, and then we're going to wrap everything up. This poem is entitled A Mother's Love, and it was written by my son, David, that inspired my book, best-selling book, A Hill to Climb. A Mother's Love. The sign says mothers are like angels. Their work is never done. So love and cherish her, mother. You only get one. She'll be there for you in times of need. Her encouraging words, strive for good deeds. So remind yourself, take heed. You'll thank her later on, indeed. I do believe at times she knows best. How long will you grieve when mother is at rest? A mother's love is unconditional, you will see. Morals received like water to seed, from seed to tree, deep are the roots in me. Until next week, this is Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose. Remember, your power lies within you. Let it loose.